ladies and gentlemen of the USA. I would like to welcome you to the 10th episode of StormWatch. I am your ghost host with the most. I am Ghostface. And I know a lot of you people are thinking at home, holy shit, is that a clone of Ghostface? No, you fucking assholes. I am the real deal Holyfield in this bitch. I am your god. I am your idol. I am everything you fuckers have worshipped since the mid-90s and then some. And I'd like to welcome you to the fucking 10th episode because it's a special one. It's all about me. Everything to do with me, from my childhood to the filming industry to the college years to what's been going on in my life in recent times. Just, like, who have I been killing? Who have I been going out of my way to stalk? Who have I been going out of my way to really just make their lives miserable and make them scream? You know what I mean? By the way, speaking of screaming, I feel like I'm hollering into the void. Jason, Michael, fucking Jigsaw, are you guys gonna call me back? You have one bad guy's nights out. One bad guy's night out. I killed 3 strippers. 3 of them. That was it. That was literally the time before that I watched Jason go into the fucking Little Haiti in Miami and just start ripping into him left and right. And the time before that, I saw Jigsaw trying to play a goddamn game on Epstein's Island. Of course he won. And it was a great fucking time, and I had a great time. And I'm not saying that I was on the island, or that... Wait, hold on. I'm not saying that anyone was on the island or anyone was doing anything that could have been illegal or whatever, but like... Can you guys call me back? Jason, think about it. I think it was like a week ago. You and I were just Eiffel Towering a woman with our blades. Do you not remember that? You had your machete laid out on her back and I was going in through her mouth with my fucking knife. Do you remember any of this? No, of course not. You guys don't even want to call me back. You know what? Fuck you. I got StormWatch now. I got a podcast. I've got a podcast for right this second. The point is, though, fuck you assholes. I am him. I am him. And that's why this episode is entire... Look at this disc. Look at my memorabilia. Look at my fucking franchise. This is what I have done. I built this shit. You know how long it takes to fucking get a deal where you can go and kill people and actually get money off of it? It's not just as simple as kidnapping children as Epstein and all of them want you to believe. This shit is difficult. I had to stalk these teenagers for years. I had to plan out the murder of her mother. I had to rape and murder her mother. I had to stalk her all throughout high school and then college and then her after years. This shit is difficult. But you know what? Whatever. I digress a little bit. In honor of this beautiful, beautiful podcast, and in honor of Scream 6 and Tony Revolori, we're going to go ahead and give you the reveal at the beginning of the podcast, just like at the beginning of the movie. Ooh. It's mostly because this fucker's hot, and talking through this shit is not fun. So, I hope y'all are ready. You ready? Da-na. Boo! Guess what, motherfuckers? It was me the whole time! Allegedly, Tyler Storm. Oh my goodness, man. This, probably the greatest horror movie franchise ever, by the way, and The Mask is gonna come back on, and it's gonna be fucking fantastic. I'll give you his whole biography. I'll give you everything from his birth till I somehow got him on my podcast. It's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a Scream, baby. And in honor of Scream, in honor of cinema, and in honor of film, I'm going to give you guys the watch of the week. And I know some of you are wondering, how the fuck does one connect to the other? Because it is the Hamilton Cinema Regulator. I wore this watch to Scream 5, 6, and recently to Scream 7, and it has been fan-fucking-tastic ever since. I mean, every fucking time I wear it, it's been fantastic. I first got this about 2022. Around my father's birthday. It was December time, near Christmas. Wore it to his event, wore it to a Hard Rock Tribal event, and then I just said fuck it and started wearing it to film. So every fucking screening I could. Everything from Scream, every other horror film, every big comedy coming out. It is a fantastic night. It's a dress watch, too, for those of you at home. It's got a beautiful black leather strap, and a regulator, for any of you who don't know, is it's a dial that separates the hours, the minutes, and the second hands all in its own little dial. So one part right here, you have the hours, another part right here, you have the seconds, and then the minute hand is going all the way around. And it's made and designed to look like a cinema reel. So that way it's like you're going to the fucking movies every time you wear it. Fantastic watch. Hamilton is a beautiful brand. I've never had a single issue with it. I've never been left wanting with this watch at all. It's a little bit top heavy, but fuck it. You're fitting a goddamn masterpiece on your wrist. You can wear that shit all day. This shit is a killer, just like me. A killer. This is the skin of a killer, Bella. Oh my goodness. And in honor of killers, we're only going to be talking about exactly that shit today. In honor of Ghostface, in honor of Scream coming to an end, in honor of a beautiful 30-year franchise that we all got to be a part of and witness to this very fucking day, we're only going to discuss the best and the most beautiful and the brightest. And in honor of that, Port St. John man convicted of murder after prosecutors present video. Killers, baby. We killing shit. Killing on killing on killing. Guilty of unprovoked killing of Kyle Zepeda, 45, in December 2019. They're just, okay, this is Brevard. They're throwing people finally into the fucking stockades who have been sitting in jail. I think at some point, our murderers are really just not good, and they go out of their way to really prove to you that they're not good at... Here, hold on, I gotta put my glasses on. In honor of Roman Bridger, we're not wearing our shades for this one. We're gonna be wearing our regular glasses because, you know, stigmatism, baby. Technically, my vision's good, but, you know, when I'm not going out wearing the mask and killing people and wearing contacts, I need the glasses. Makes a difference. I don't need them. I prefer them. What do I know? What does the optometrist know? Optometrists are fucking retards. They get paid to sit there and look at your eye. What a fucking idiot. You can take a magnifying glass and do that shit. Your eye is brown. Thank you, doctor. Brevard County, Florida, a Port St. John man who was shot and killed by his brother-in-law who had come to check in on him has been convicted at trial of second-degree murder. You know, if you don't like your wife's family, you can just say that. You don't have to go out of your way to find reasons to kill them. You don't have to just murder your in-laws. I know this is coming from me, and I think that he should have gone and doubled down and killed all of them. I guess that's just what I would have done. I would have started with the brother-in-law, and then I would have gone for the mother-in-law, and then I would have gone for the father-in-law. But that's just me. That's just Ghostface mentality. A Brevard County jury deliberated for less than 30 minutes before finding Daniel K. Demir, 30, guilty of unprovoked killing of Kyle Zepeda, 45, in December 2019. 30 minutes! They didn't even fucking waste time. They walked into that. This was no 12 angry men. This was 12 people who had a fucking mission to put this nigga in jail. And guess what, baby? They doing it. This is poor killing. This is poor killing. I think he should have also committed suicide if they're going to be throwing him in jail like this. But I guess that's just me. I mean, I wouldn't have left any evidence personally. I think that my career has shown itself to be above and beyond. 30 years of no evidence until I give you the reveal. Just saying. 30 years, baby. 30 years of no reveals until I say so. These stupid fucking Brevardians get caught left and right and center. I just don't even... 30 minutes. Deemer had been causing a disturbance in the garage apartment of his mother's house on Camberley Street, and his sister and Zepeda went there to calm things down, investigators said. You know, should have shot his sister too. Oh wait, that's his wife. Shoot Zepeda and his stupid bitch sister, your wife. Whatever. Double down. She's already gonna not like you anyways. You killed her brother. You shoot her brother unprovoked. Just shoot her. Don't leave a witness. Don't whatever. Just double down. You can call me the double down daddy because motherfucker, I will always tell you to double the fuck down. Like Bill and Hillary. We're gonna get to them here in a little bit. Killers. Fucking killers. Executioners, assassins, murderers, diabolical, evil, witch of the waste, sorry, pieces of shit, evil murderers. And I love them. Those are killers right there. The Clintons are killers. Those are the fucking daddy and mommy of Double Down. They're like,
You think I'm going to admit to something? No, I'm just going to sit here and smile at you. And they'll fucking get away with it too. Unless somebody gets their mask pulled off like in Scooby-Doo. It's like, we would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you damn kids in your Epstein files. Prosecutors Samantha Barrett and Trevor Parsonaire showed jurors conclusive evidence of what happened next. Phone video taken by the sister showed Deemer meeting his unarmed brother-in-law at the door, immediately retrieved a handgun from the table side, pointing it at the victim's head and pulling the trigger. This is not self-defense. This was premeditated at some level murder or some... Then he closed... Hold on. Pointing it in the victim's head and pulling the trigger. Deemer briefly looked down at the dying victim as his sister screamed in panic, and then he closed the door. He treated this like it was a fucking Girl Scout cookie offering him some fucking Thin Mints. You know how crazy that is? If you could shoot Girl Scout cookies and get... I'm not saying you should shoot Girl Scouts. I'm not saying you should shoot anybody. All I'm saying is the casualness of this is so beautiful. Here, hold on. I got this for you guys. Holy shit! What are you doing? It's your brother-in-law! Are you? I just saw fucking Jim Carrey was cloned. How is it? How's it, Peter? You sure you're my brother-in-law? And then he fucking... Bah! And then the sister just... Ay. You know how they scream in Spanish. Ay, 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 ay. And then just... Now that's how you should reject Mormons. That's how you should reject those Jehovah's Witnesses. Let me tell you what, you see a couple of them show up to your door, open that shit up and grab a pistol and see if they ever come back. My camera woman, she was a JW. Do you think they'd come back if they walked up with a pistol at the door? No, if they had a pistol at the door, would you have gone back? So show up with 2 guns, deter the Jehovah's Witnesses, deter your family, deter the Girl Scouts. Deemer told the neighbor he shot Zepeda because he didn't like him. Other evidence showed that Deemer's mother wanted him to move out of her house, and Zepeda and Deemer's refused to let him move in with them. This is the ultimate tantrum. This is a tantrum for real. He did not want to move out so badly, and he hated his brother-in-law so badly he shot him in the head, point blank. No shock, no panic, no drug. They haven't even said that he was on drugs or anything. This is Brevard. Normally there's drugs involved. I am grateful to the jury for following the oath they took to uphold the law. I'm glad Mr. Zepeda's family received justice, Barrett said. It was a 6-day trial. He wasn't even in for a week. This motherfucker wasn't even on for a week. You know what? Weak killer. Weak sauce. He's no Hillary. He's no Bill. He's no Ghostface. He's no Roman Bridger. He's no fucking Billy Loomis. He's no Stu Mocker. He's no Charlie. He's no... Oh, fuck. Hold on. I just spaced on 2 of their names. Give me a second. Whatever. The point is, he is not representing me the way I wanted to. Richie Hirsch. He's not Richie Hurst. You get what I mean? Killers, baby. Why are you going to half-ass this stuff? Why are you going to go out of your way to like, I don't like him. Bang. Have some fun with it. Throw on a mask and some gloves, baby. We don't have any serial killers in this area other than me, and it's disgusting. Do you have any clue what it's like to walk around late at night stalking these teenagers and to look around and see I'm the only one doing it? I left Jason back up in New York, and he's having the fucking time of his life. I heard a week ago that he was in the fucking sewer killing off homeless people. You know how fucking fun that sounds? Jigsaw's still on Epstein's Island, allegedly. Playing games, allegedly. What am I doing? I'm in Titusville on some fucking asshole show. Huh. Ho, 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 ho. Never really gave much thought into how I was gonna die. And sadly, I wish I would have, because it's likely in Titusville now. Whatever, man. From killer to killer, all I gotta say is this shit's just sad. Adult male found along Indian River Lagoon shoreline. Investigation underway. See, whoever killed this person, thank you. Thank you. On behalf of the serial killers and all of your favorite franchises, and on behalf of all of the serial murderers you've grown up loving, from Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, Ed Gein, something Fish. Albert Fish or something like that. In honor of all of them, we say thank you for finally doing something right and just leaving a body for them to deal with. Deputies responded to the area Indian River around 9 a.m., so they got to leave their donuts at Kim's. That's rude. You made your officers leave their donuts at Kim's. Fantastic, fantastic fucking donuts, by the way. Go for the apple fritter, the maple, Kim's special, and their blueberry cake. That blueberry cake it's like eating a fucking, like a mushy muffin. You know what I mean? Oh, and those apple fritters. To fucking kill for, you know what I mean? I think that personally I would kill for one of those apple fritters. I'm not saying that I have killed for one of those apple fritters, but I would kill someone for those apple fritters. Especially one of these little fat fucking Titusville faggots that hop in line in front of me. Are you kidding me? Have you ever seen such obese 10-year-olds? Have you ever seen such sad and downtrodden 13-year-olds that you want to just hug them and say, oh, please go run and don't come home? Run away from home to lose the weight is what I would tell these children. Run to Epstein's. He's not running it anymore. I hear that, what's his name? I think it's Jared Kushner's running it now or something like that. He's the young son-in-law of Donnie. I'm pretty sure he's the one who's in charge of it now. Either that or BB's just leaving it up for fucking tax write-offs, and that's just... Why does he get a tax write-off of a pedophile cult convention island and I don't? I have to have all of this stuff written off annually with the franchise releases. Keychains, video games, board games, popcorn buckets, fucking cups, shirts, curtains, lights. I have a me version of a lava lamp. Do you know what that is like? Do you know what that's like trying to advertise that at Spencer's? Do you? Do you have any clue what it's like trying to get these teenagers to buy lava lamps after you? It feels pervy. Feels like I'm Epstein. You know what it's like to walk around and see a bunch of big titty goth girls wearing shirts with your face on it? Feels fantastic. That wasn't actually something that I was disparaging. It's just, it's a lot of work. Some days you walk down the road and you see a half-gap tooth, purple-haired white bitch wearing way too many piercings and a Scream shirt that's too tight so her belly sticks out the bottom. And you think to yourself, I wish I wasn't the idol I was. And then you walk further up the road and you see a guy wearing a mask chasing a woman down an alley. And you think to yourself, I'm glad that I have done everything I've done for the community. Brevard County, Florida, a death investigation is underway after deputies found the body of an adult male along the Indian River Lagoon shoreline Sunday morning. Sunday morning. They didn't even give you a chance on Good Church Sunday to go and see the Lord. They didn't even give you a chance to go and see Moloch that morning. They didn't even give you a chance to go and see Baal. What is this? If I was the one who had done it, it would have been during your week. If you notice, all of my movies, every one that I've been featured in, takes no more than a week. We don't use Sundays. We end the franchise on a Saturday. Just saying for all of you killers at home, be a bit more kill-siderate. Considerate with the kill. Deputies responded to the area near Indian River Drive around 9 a.m. Read that to you already. On March 1st, after receiving reports that a body had been discovered along the water's edge. Boring. Preliminary information indicates the individual may be connected to an incident that occurred several days earlier in South Brevard County. Don't tell us about the incident, of course. Authorities said that in that case, a person fled from the Sebastian Police Department and entered the lagoon in an apparent attempt to evade law enforcement. So what they're saying is someone ran away from jail and died in the lagoon. That's what they're trying to fucking say. Despite extensive search warrants, the individual was not located at the time. They haven't released the identity of the person either. You know what? Good on them. No identity, but no face, no case.
That's why it's always a ghost face, baby. I rock that shit till the day I go. Fuck you know about it. What's up? Fuck you know about it.
So I did actually almost wear this today. I couldn't not use it though. So this is going to be a partial prop for today, as both of these are. This was my stoner phase, I guess you could say. This was me trying to really connect with my roots. You know what I mean? Have you ever had weed so good that you just let your tongue hang out and you just gotta scream, "What's up?" Where was I at? Oh yeah, some dude was found dead in the Indian River Lagoon and they can't identify who the fuck it is. They'll figure out who it is eventually, just like they didn't figure out who shot that 11-year-old, and just like who they didn't figure out who killed that or who shot that woman on Singleton. Just like they haven't figured out any of these fucking murders lately. Crazy. Shootings all throughout Titusville. Shootings all throughout Cocoa and Brevard. And they can't identify any of these fucking people. But guess what they can do? They can stop speeders in their goddamn tracks. Fuck it. They can stop speeders with their red right hand. It's... Not that I want these people found. I mean, clearly I'm in support of them. These are my people. These are my people. Anyone who's willing to commit a murder and get away with it to prove their point, I believe in you. I support you. Not only do I support you, I trust you more. I trust you more. I do. Brevard County Sheriff's help. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, wait, no. Brevard County needs help twice because our sheriffs are complete pieces of shit. Brevard County Sheriff's Office seek community help after homicide at Ace's Bar in Cocoa. Guess what, guys? They can't identify another murderer. Yay! Brevard sheriffs are the great. Hava, Nagila Hava, Nagila Hava. We're celebrating them in honor of our friends across the deserty pond. The desert pool, I guess you could say. Whatever. We'll get to them here shortly. Everything today is about home, if you haven't noticed. Friends, our allies, our family, our neighbors, our sheriffs, me. Everything is about what happens at home. Victim identified as Jalen Gordon, 22, from Vero Beach. So they can identify this person, but they won't identify, the dead person in the Indian River Lagoon, so that way we may be able to help with this situation as the citizens. Also, a 22-year-old getting shot at a bar in Cocoa in Titusville is very Brevard. It is very Brevard. I can't explain it to you because some of you have been here. Let me tell you what, getting shot at a bar is a beautiful Brevard privilege. You should hope to get shot at our bars. Truly. Who else are you going to want to get shot by? I think that if your options are go to New York and be eaten by rats, your options are be in Venezuela, or not Venezuela, and be in Iran and get bombed, or be in Titusville and maybe get shot by Ghostface. I don't think your options are that bad if you're coming here. Brevard County, Florida. The Brevard County Sheriff's Office is asking for public assistance. Deputies responded to the location at approximately 2:30 a.m. on Sunday, March 1st after 911 call was placed. Upon arrival, deputies located an adult male suffering from life-threatening injuries. And then he died. However, the victim ultimately succumbed to his injuries and was pronounced dead by the medical staff. Man. What? Why are the only good killers south of me? Why are the only good killers south of me or too rich to hang out with me? Or too apparently fucking good to call me back? I haven't seen The Thing since Hawaii. I don't know if he was killed there with the lasers that they shot down at it, but I have not seen him since Hawaii. Since the fires of Hawaii, I have not seen The Thing. I haven't seen Pennywise in actually a couple years. I've been wondering if he's been asleep or if those fucking little cunts got to him before Epstein could get to them. Do you have any clue what it's like when your best friend is a child-eating clown and you can only see him every 27 years and his priority every single time is to devour children? Dude, come on, there's more to life. And you can go for an older range too. Why is it always the kids? I like to go for 17, 8 to the barely legals. You know what I mean? I like to go and stalk and kill the barely legals. Whenever I'm hunting somebody down, I like to see beautiful breasts on them, not booties. Do you get what I mean? I like to eat my women grown. I don't like to have grape soda jerky. Come on now. I actually am not a fan of jerky. I don't even eat my victims. I just kind of leave them there for you guys. And I'd say that's more gracious than what he's doing, but I didn't even mean to get here. The sorry bastard, none of them call me anymore. None of them call me anymore. I told them that I was doing my last movie, probably going to wait until the reboot, and all of a sudden, nobody calls me back. No emails, no nothing. Epstein's emails get leaked and I stop getting emails back. Jason goes up to New York and Michael stays in Haddonfield. Nobody fucking calls me back. Jigsaw, no more letters. He had to use letters, allegedly, because he was on an island, allegedly, with Epstein, allegedly. And Bill, allegedly. And Hillary, allegedly. The point is, though, do you know what it's like to be this lonely? To be the solo dolo killer of an entire franchise and not just have this franchise be surrounded by you, but to have to keep it going and know that it has to somehow be good. Do you know how hard this has been? Fucking Jason has had since 1980. Mike, 76. Jigsaw has had less time than me, but for some reason, everybody loves his fucking murder and gore and slasher this, that, or the other. Even that sorry fuck Art the Clown is getting calls. I hear he's coming to his last movie, though, so I'm just saying. Art, come on the podcast with me. I think we can have some fun. Scream-a-fire. Team-a-fire. Double team teenage-a-fire. The point is, call me back. Killers don't always get along, you know what I mean? Not every killer is able to maintain friendships. Not every killer is able to maintain relationships. Not every killer is able to maintain those budding, loving relationships. You know what, think of all the people who played me. I mean, upwards of almost a dozen, I think, at this point. The bitch and the psych ward guy from the last movie. The family in part 6. That was the Kirsch family. Those were his siblings and his father. They did great examples of me, by the way. Probably my favorite mask that the studio has given me. And I gotta say, the nostalgia when I looked at this mask. When I looked down at this, all I could think about was Sydney's mother. And just how none of this would be possible if if I wasn't there to help with her murder and rape. Like, none of us would be here really right now if it weren't for that. And that's just, that's beautiful. You know, not every killer is able to come this far. Not everyone is able to keep their franchise going. The Thing only got 2 movies. He got 2 movies. They were so good. The first one was good. The first one was amazing. Didn't watch the second one. Heard it bombed. He watched all of my movies, though. I'm just so ashamed. I should have stayed in Hawaii to make sure he made it back to the cold. But no. I just had to go and commit the murders for Scream 7 for filming. Do you know what it's like? Do you know what it's like to watch all your friends die? To watch all your best friends go in a blaze of glory that you don't even get to be a part of in the same way? No, you just get to do podcasts. You just get to be a part of the modern day and age. God, why did I choose to do meta films? You know, my biggest regret was doing Scream 4 because that signed me up basically for 5, 6, and 7. 3 was fine. I could deal with that. The Hollywood tropes, the fucking cheap puns, the random side casting. Why did they cast Patrick Warburton or whatever? They casted Kronk to be a fucking security guard. I took so much pleasure in killing him. I took so much pleasure in killing Kronk. You know what? In honor of all the people who couldn't be here, in honor of everyone of my fucking killing best friends, and in honor of everyone who they've killed, this is Champagne, and we toast to you. Whew. Ooh, baby. Let me tell you what. That is some good shit. Well, at least it's not bad. At least that champagne will call me back. Jason. And you know what? Fuck you, Jason. Side note, excuse me. You really put me on this path. You did. You were one of my biggest... You were like a big brother to me. And now you're like a big fuck to me. Watch, I'm saying all that and he's somewhere lost in space or some shit. He can't even actually fucking get back to me. For all I know, Thing has actually made it back to Antarctica and refroze himself and he's just not talking to me. It's a sad life we live as serial killers. You don't always get somebody to love either. Videos of Bill and Hillary Clinton's Epstein testimony released by the House Committee. I just gotta say, that's love. These two, do you have any clue how hard it is to find a woman or a man who wants to commit murder as much as you do so they can achieve as much ultimate power as possible? I can't even get this woman to come out here and commit a murder with me. Hillary's been doing it since the fucking 80s and 90s, apparently. She's just been lopping people off like it was a fucking game. She lops off political opponents like an octopus with gangrenous tentacles. She truly is the witch of the waste. That woman has gone out of her way to just eradicate and mow people over. And it's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful that now I get to see her and Bill in their older years loving each other. It makes me hate Jason more. It makes me hate Michael more. And truthfully, it makes me hate Jigsaw more because she just keeps playing these games like he did on the island. I just don't understand. Bill never played games. Bill's always been straight with me. He's always been straight with Jeff. He's always been straight with Donnie. He's always been straight with Bill. He's always been straight with everybody. Everybody loves Bill. Bill is a guy's kind of guy. You know what I mean? He really is an example of how you can be a killer and have fun too. He is a beautiful example of what it looks like to drug entire communities and still put a smile on your face. To cause the wanton death and murder of innocent hundreds, if not thousands of people and still be able to smile. That is love. And to see that these two love each other so much that even after all this time, there's no turning their backs on each other. They have separate depositions and they're still fucking running strong. Fucking Hillary was literally like, she was being asked, so Bill is in this photo with a few young teenage girls giving him a massage. Does that bother you at all? Do you have anything to say about that? And Hillary's like, nope. This is the same thing you guys always do. You're just trying to pin a woman against her husband because she's a strong and powerful person and she can't stand without her husband. I am woman. Miss Hillary, I know, but we're asking you about Jeffrey Epstein. I, a woman, do not know Jeffrey Epstein, nor do I know Ghislaine Maxwell. Well, we hadn't asked you about Ghislaine yet, but now that we're on the topic, she actually went to your daughter. I did not invite her to my daughter's wedding. My daughter must have done this without my knowing. But Ghislaine said that she spoke to you before and during. I do not recall those conversations as a beautiful, proud American woman who has maintained a powerful position her entire life. Okay. Jeffrey said that you were you said you hadn't met Jeffrey before, but he said you were much prettier in person than you were in your photos. Well, I'm not going to argue with that one. That was actually a legitimate quote from her, by the way. That part was not a joke. They literally said to her, Jeffrey had emailed somebody saying that you were much prettier in person than you were in your photos. And Hillary's like, well, I'm not going to deny that part. This bitch is a killer. Hillary is a killer. Billy is a killer. These are my fucking... my bitch and my nigga. Are you kidding me? They're always invited to the cookout. They're always invited to the kill out. They're always invited to my next murder. Come to Titusville. I know you guys have had to pass through here at some point, or you know somebody who did. Your buddy Elon is literally just up the road, sending up his giant metal penises into the sky, even though he's on the list too. By the way, for all you SpaceX sorry cucks out here, the program is going to fail at some point. I promise you it's either going to fail, it's going to go broke, or it's going to be so it's going to not fail at all, and it's going to become so overdeveloped that you will never have a life outside of SpaceX. It is going to become a new Walt Disney World. It's going to be like Epcot, but for space exploration. That's what they're trying to do here, by the way. They want to turn this area into literally NASA Epcot. Also, I've got a fun theory for what's coming next with SpaceX. We're going to get to that here in a moment, but enough of this. Back to Billy and Hilly. Washington. Former President Bill Clinton is in hours-long deposition before the House Oversight Committee last week. He denied any knowledge of the crimes of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, but provided lawmakers with a window into how and why he came into the convicted sex offender and his accomplice. I didn't know Jeff was going and raping 3-year-olds. That doesn't seem like him. At my dinner, all he was talking about was microtransactions and how to screw the tax-paying American in the new technological era. He seemed like a nice guy to me. Bill is really like, yeah, I met him a few times. He was a buddy of mine. What do you want from me? Yeah, I knew Ghislaine. She was a friend of mine. What do you want from me? And Hillary's like, I didn't know any of them. I didn't go near them. I didn't breathe their air. I didn't look at them. They weren't even friends of mine. They weren't friends of mine. Who the fuck? Jeffrey and Ghislaine. Who even are they? I'm surprised Hillary didn't do that. Ma'am, Hillary, We have a few questions to ask you about Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Who? She's quoting Moloch. Who? The owl god, get it? He fucks at home. The House Oversight Committee on Monday released the video last week's deposition with both Billy and Hilly as part of the investigation into Epstein. Hilly testified last Thursday while Billy appeared before the committee a day later. The video of Bill Clinton's testimony runs 4 hours and 33 minutes, while Hillary's lasts 4 hours and 35 minutes. Almost down to the exact minute they lasted. I am willing to bet that other than that 2 minutes where Bill is sitting there fondling the photos so long. I'm going to be Bill for 5 seconds. Then his lawyer snatching it, and Bill literally yoked that shit back. He's like, hey. He goes in with his lawyer and he's like, look at that right there. He fucking, that nigga was reliving the old days like it was a fucking thing out of goddamn Golden Girls. Like it was a flashback in Golden Girls. He was not worried at all. Bill is so unworried about this shit that he's being shown photos of him getting massaged by teenage girls, and he's just like, yeah, sometimes you do that. Sometimes you get teenage girls to massage you. I don't massage them, I kill them. I prefer to watch their entrails be spread across the yard. Look at my first movie. That was actually my idea, by the way. They just wanted me to hang her up, and I said, no. What if we split her from sternum to like bottom of stomach and just gut her wide open for everybody? And they're like, Mr. Face, are you sure about that? Call me Ghost. Call me Ghost is what I say. And then I looked at him and I said, without hesitation, we are going to murder Drew Barrymore. And I do gotta say, that was definitely one of the most satisfying murders of the entire ordeal, because she just would not stop bitching during the entire time I was stabbing her. She fucking kicked me in the groin. She ripped off my mask halfway through. She went out of her way to try and just pulverize me just so I couldn't fucking kill her. But let me tell you what, when I saw her dangling there, strange fruit hanging from the poppum trees. That's a Kanye reference for you fuckers at home. Blood on the leaves. When you see her swinging from the tree and you see the blood on the leaves, you can't help but think to yourself, thank God for me's. Thank God for Ghostface. That was definitely one of the more entertaining murders I've committed. I can tell you I've definitely not done anywhere near the work these guys have had, but that one was worth it. I would not be getting massages from these teenagers, as I've just said. I'd be murdering them the way I have done. And I've exampled that 1,000,000 times over. Well, let me not say 1,000,000. About, 7 movies to prove it? 7. What do you guys have? No movies. Nothing. The depositions took place behind closed doors in Chappaqua, New York, the Clintons' hometown. It's not really their hometown. I'm pretty sure he's from Wisconsin or something like that. Iowa, one of those states. I remember it being one of those Midwestern states that got a bunch of cocaine flown into it at one point. Mena, Arkansas. That's what it was. It was Arkansas. And he was the governor at the time. And apparently he was the one who just allowed tons and tons of dumps of cocaine just to flood into the area. He's a hell of a guy. My boy Billy, let me tell you what. It capped when Representative James Comer of Kentucky, the Republican chairman of the committee, described as a lengthy effort to secure testimony from the couple about their knowledge of Epstein and Ghislaine, who is in prison for sex trafficking. They're not getting anything. I'm going to tell you what. I said last week it would be fun to watch Hill go at fucking Ghislaine and to watch them go head to head. They're not going to do it. Hillary will never admit to anything. This woman has been accused of cutting the face off of a child and pulling her pineal gland out of her nose and drinking the children's blood in ritualistic sacrifice. This woman will not admit to anything. No witch admits to anything. The Sanderson sisters were being hung in front of the entire town. The Sanderson sisters were being hung in front of the entire town. And they admitted nothing. Where's our son, Zachary Binks? Oh, he's around here. And then you just see the cat scuttling that they transformed him into. This couple will go down in history as one of the most powerful couples ever, for one. And for two, one of the most psychotic and greatest couple killers ever. They truly are one of the greatest couple killers since the inception of my franchise even. And I just want to say, thank you, Billy. Thank you, Hilly. The two of you have made this world not only better, but you have made politics better, and you have made my life possible because of the things you do. Killers, baby. Absolute fucking killers. And it's not just them that's killers here in the U.S. We as the U.S. are absolute killers. Are you fucking kidding me? I had apparently heard from last week that we bombed Iran. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know we've invaded fucking Iran with Israel? It was the two of us in a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful relationship. I guess you could call Donnie and BB the husbands of horror at this point, because the horrors they're bringing to the Middle East are explosively astounding, I guess you could say. They're hot to trot. They they started off last week by bombing Iran and killing their main leader, the Ayatollah. I do just want to say, that is crazy. We're in there for apparently a non-regime change war, and we've killed the leader and who they were electing all within the same week, and have let up nothing. Israel has been on them with everything, and so have we. And it's been astounding. You know, they broke the fucking wrist of a Marine last week. They broke a Marine's wrist who was protesting the wars that we're fighting with Israel, saying that we're not here. We don't want to fight Israel's wars. We don't want to fight for Israel. We don't want to die for Israel. And two police officers were carrying him out. And one of our senators rushed over to assist the two officers and not just removing the Marine. This also qualifies as assault, considering you're not an officer, Mr. Senator. I don't know who it is. I'm going to pull it up here in a minute because we're dealing with some technical difficulties and it takes a second nowadays. But it is interesting to see that in 1 week's time, we went from absolute peace discussions in the Middle East, absolute potential peace. There was no wars, no bombs, nothing. Now all of a sudden Afghanistan and Pakistan are going at each other, and us and Israel are bombing the living soul out of Iran and killing their fucking leaders left, right, and center as if this was just some fucking game. As if this was some fucking game that Jigsaw came up with. I like to leave those games for the island. I don't leave those games for war times. War games are not for me. I prefer horror games. No, but sincerely, talk about some fucking killers. And the craziest part is a lot of people were accusing BB of saying that they forced Trump's hand in on this and all these other things. And BB's like, I really don't think about any of that. I mean, I don't know about that. And Trump's like, I think I forced their hand. Donnie, you shouldn't be admitting that you forced this fucking war, given the fact that none of your citizens want to participate in it. And we just continue sending billions of dollars, not only to, continuing to Ukraine and now Mexico to ensure that our citizens, and we haven't even removed fully our citizens that are in Mexico, by the way. I want to touch back on this. About a week and a half ago, not even 2 weeks ago, we killed El Mencho, the leader of the New Jalisco cartel down in Mexico. And our citizens, our fucking vacationing citizens and whatever, are still hiding out down there. We haven't even gotten all of our citizens back from Mexico. And we're over here invading Iran with Israel. And guess what, guys? We're in Ecuador too. In case you didn't know, fucking America and Ecuador have a joint fucking military act right now against the cartels that just started less than 2 or 3 days ago. It is astounding how quick we're moving, all just to cover up these files. I think that's part of it, not just think, I know that's part of it, is because Whatever is in these files, whatever they have on our sheriffs, our lawmakers, foreign emissaries, kings, queens, politicians, monarch, whatever you want to call them, the fucking leaders of this world, free world, controlled world, whatever you want to call it, the leaders of the world are so embedded into whatever is in these files that they cannot release it. It's not just about they don't want to release it to cover their own asses. They cannot release this because it will unravel the fabric of the entire globe as we know it and what we preside in. It's not just a matter of U.S. national security. It's not a matter of China national security. It's not even a matter of Israel national security. It is a matter of everyone's national security and safety and everything you want to call it, that these files don't get out. I don't even know I don't know what's entirely in them. I don't know shit. I'm just one of you fucking guys. I'm just one of the peoples. Even as Ghostface, I'm just one of the fucking peoples. But they are so willing to protect what is in these files, and not just the people in the files, the people who are even implicated surrounding the files, surrounding the people in the files. Everyone is so terrified and petrified of what is actually in there that they're willing to start a war in Mexico, a war with Iran, a war in Ecuador, a war with Venezuela, and an economic war with China, all to try and distract the U.S. citizens from the fact that our fucking politicians are sacrificing and eating children. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. And I think another thing with this Iran conflict and everything that's going on, and I'm going to make this prediction now. I think that Iran, they're going to, what is it? There was a fire down in Miami, I think either yesterday or today, that was reported on. And they're going to start blaming stuff like that on Iran. I said this a week ago, 2 weeks ago, that they're going to have 10 fucking incidents down here in Florida. And one of them was the Cuba crisis. Another one is the wildfires across Florida. It's not just in one spot. Florida is kind of on fire right now and hasn't been this on fire ever. And I think it's kind of funny given the fact that California is on fire. We have fucking Hawaii that was on fire. And now the next major super city state is Florida and Texas. Texas is already dried out. What are you going to do? Burn down the fucking desert? And the only thing they can do at this point is burn down Florida. And that makes a bit of sense. My thing is, I think they're going to go for the space program next. I think that was part of the idea of Donnie and Elon and them falling out is one of two things. They were either trying to distract and say that the space program is not as important as it is to the United States, even though they keep making that one of the main investments and one of the main one of the main proprietors and one of the main instigators of this whole thing is Elon, and he was tied in and all this shit. It would just be kind of funny. I don't think it would be funny, but it would be interesting if all of a sudden SpaceX was set on fire or bombed from inside or whatever, or it came out that there was secret intelligence that was working for SpaceX, and then they started blaming it on Iran or China or Ecuador, whatever the case is. My thought is that they're going to either go for SpaceX here off the coast, they're going to go in Austin, Texas, and they're going to go for there, or they are going to make an example of what we have going on here in the United States, and they're going to wait till the summertime when we're doing our big UFC event at the White House, and then they're going to take a shot at either Donnie or JD or somebody big like that, and then they're going to use that as an instigation or potential offset in order for us to either nuke Iran or for us to drop enough ground troops in Iran to where we completely control the state as a military basis. That's my prediction. I don't know what's going to happen. All I got to say is it's kind of fun because we went from peace talks with the peacetime president to Bibi and Donnie bombing the Ayatollah into non-existence and then continuing to drop bombs on hospitals. We've seen laser beams come out of Israel to deflect Iranian drones and shit like that. Iran can't even touch Israel right now except for a couple small places. They're going for the fucking United Arab Emirates. They're going for Afghanistan, Pakistan, everywhere else that U.S. embassies are at is where they're going right now and attacking. It's not even Israel that's being attacked. It's U.S. citizens, and that's the craziest thing. Also, For you fucking Florida state makers, suck my fucking cock. Fuck you, fuck these wars. I'm not speaking out and holding anyone in fucking contempt of anything. I'm not sitting here and fucking pretending like I'm bad-mouthing one and not the other. I'm not holding anyone to a double standard. I'm telling you right now that no U.S. citizen wants to go to war for another country ever. We didn't want to do it for Ukraine. We didn't want to do it for us, for our citizens. We don't even want to go into Mexico with our own troops and pull them out of there. We do not want to fight Israel's war. You can say it's the war of democracy. You can say it's the war of whatever. No one wants to fight their war. Suck my dick. Eat shit and die, because I promise you, you're going to be sending young men to die and they're going to be wishing that was you instead. So fuck you, fuck left, right, and center, and everybody else who has something to say that's against me speaking against this war. All of you suck. Left, right, center, you are all a bunch of placating, sorry little bitches to whatever is going on, and there are going to be thousands of people dying, if not millions, before any of you are able to realize what the fuck is actually occurring in front of you. I didn't even mean to go on this side tangent. It was supposed to be about killers and jokes and all that stuff, but I can't even... How do I say this? I can't think of anything more awful than us bombing hospitals with children in it, innocent children, and going, yes, this is for democracy. I'm not saying we're evil, but I'm saying that if there's a good and a bad guy in a war movie, whoever it is, we are not the good guys. We are not putting our troops there to help anybody, and we're sure as fuck not sending over missiles for the sake of democracy. We're not even focused on fixing democracy in our own hometowns, in our own states, in our own country, and you're worried about the democracy of another fucking country? Fuck you. Fuck you, eat shit and die. All you U.S. law politicians and every lawmaker and everything, I hope every one of you sees this. I hope with every fiber of my being that one day every one of you sees this, and if you don't see this, that you look me in the eyes and I look you in the eyes and I get a chance to look at you and tell you what a dirty, sorry, fucking worthless, troglodytic piece of fucking garbage you are, and how you have done nothing good for this world and how you will never do anything good for anything's sake but your own. Every one of them. Bill, Donnie, Elon, all of you who think I've picked sides on this, I won't pick one, who think I've talked shit on more one side, blah, 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 blah. Fuck you too. Fuck all of you. There is no reason. I would have just gone in there myself personally and killed the Ayatollah if I knew that this was going to be the ordeal. Serial killers, baby. We get it done the best. You know how much fucking work it would have been just for me to walk in that bitch and fucking get that shit done? Nothing. Nothing. Nada. Zilch. Zero. You could have got the Ayatollah with... I said this last week. Insurgencies, coups, assassinations. You need things that don't go boom. You need things that go pew. Or you need things that go because you're trying to take out one person. You're not trying to destroy the innocence and livelihoods of an entire fucking state of people. What do I know? Fuck it. You know what? Billy, Hilly, Donnie, BB, all of you, I love you. Killers. Real killers. Those are some real killers. You want to talk about some real fucking killers over here in this bitch? You need to start talking about what we have going on. It's beautiful. We didn't ask for a ceasefire even last time, and previous time it was Israel who asked for a ceasefire. By the way, I do want to talk about this. The Iranian government is saying that they're ready to go toe-to-toe with the United States government in a ground war. They're not even able to hit us with their... I think we've lost like 500 lives, but it's because of the U.S. embassies. We're not like losing ground troops from what I can tell. And funny enough, the only thing that we're losing out of the air is our F-15s that were shot down by, Cambodia or something like that. We have friendly fire taking us out more than we have Iran taking us out. And Iran is like, nah, we're going to fucking go toe-to-toe with you, bitch. Bitch. What the fuck you got for us? What the fuck? What in the fuck do you have for us? They're not Indian, but they're sand Indians. Do you get what I mean? They're dirty, they're not dirty Indians. Indians are dirty. They're sandy Indians. They're Sindians. Do you know what I mean? Dot, no feather. I'm Feather, no Dot. I don't know. I think it's crazy to me to think that they're just, the Iranians will not stop, by the way. The Iranians, the fucking Israelis, the fucking Mexican cartels, there is none of these people. We're at a time in this world where it's an ultimate power vacuum. Once the US stopped being the main number one power, it's been a long time. Well, let me not say a long time. The UK was the ultimate power for a little bit there. And then it became the US. And now that we're no longer the like ultimate God power, the ultimate end all be all for this world, everyone thinks that they can go toe to toe with us. And I gotta say, that's not a good look for us as a country. If everyone thinks they can take you on, that's probably not something you should be hoping for. Fucking, they're literally, no, we're waiting for them, he added, because we are confident that we can confront them, and that would be a big disaster for them. I do want to say we're going to lose a lot of U.S. soldiers and a lot of U.S. lives if we take a ground war over there. I'm not even going to pretend otherwise. I'm not going to hesitate. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to, any of you in my comments section can eat shit and die too if you're going to argue this. We will lose as many U.S. lives as Iranian lives at the end of this war, and we will say that it was all for the good of Israel and the U.S., because what's good for Israel is good for the U.S. at the end of the day. That's the thing. At this point, no one's admitting anything. No one's admitting anything. Billy and Hilly won't admit anything. Donnie and BB won't admit anything. There is not a single person who is willing to say, hey, you know what? We're wanton killers. We're wanton murderers, and there is nothing that you are going to do to stop us. They don't have the balls for that like I do. They don't have the balls to put out their fucking merch and their memorabilia in front of you and say, I am the killer. I am the killer. They don't have the balls for that. I have the balls for that. I have the fucking huevos for that shit. It's killers. Excuse me. This shit's disgusting. It's cheap champagne. Don't drink cheap champagne. Don't ship cheap champagne. Don't drink cheap. Jesus Christ. Don't drink cheap champagne. Just get the nice beer. It's better for you anyway. None of it's good for you. Killers, baby. We come in all shapes and sizes, and come with all different kinds of guns and knives too. But honestly, I'm kind of done talking about all these different people. These killers I really have nothing on me. I'm going to be honest with you. It doesn't matter if it's Hilly, Billy, Donnie, BB. It doesn't matter if it's any of these people who have the missing bodies coming up in the Indian River Lagoon. None of them ain't got shit on me, biatch. And a nigga ain't got shit on me. Just saying. And you know what? Fuck these people. Fuck all this shit. We gonna put the mask back on for the last part of this, because I want all of you to understand what we talking about. And what we're talking about, and I mean this, is me, baby. Is me. It's fucking Ghostface, baby. I am your idol. I am your God. I am the thing that you have loved and worshipped since the mid-90s. I said this earlier, but for the love of God, I gotta reiterate so you people at home can understand how big I am and how amazing I am and just the fucking amount of work I've put in. You think I want to sit here and keep talking about Hilly and Billy and all these fucking people and BB and Donnie and everything they have fucking going on? Fuck them. Fuck them. They ain't got shit on me, bitch. I have a franchise. What do they have? Yeah, they're gonna remake Gaza into a new fucking billionaire strip. And they're gonna sit there and they're gonna run Mexico dry while it's committing a civil war so we can go in there and take all their resources. And we're gonna sit there and drain Venezuela of everything we have because we installed a puppet government over there with their second in charge. What was her name? I can't even remember. The point is, fuck these people. It's about me, bitch. I am the star of this show. Fucking Ghostface, baby.
Ghostface, baby. Fuck Blueface. Fuck all them hoes. In the great words of the notorious B.I.G., fuck all you hoes. Get a grip. This goes out to all the teachers who told me I'd never amount to nothing. That was B.I.G. Ready to Die. Juicy, I think. Pretty sure that's what that was. The point is, though, fuck these people. This is my show. And right now, I'm going to give you my rankings of all the movies I've ever been in, my favorites, my favorite kill scenes, what I think is the worst, best, everything about these fucking movies, because I've put so much work and effort into this that it's not even funny anymore. It's not even a game or a joke. I have literally killed for this franchise. I have killed for this franchise. I've almost died. I've died several times for this fucking franchise. And what do they offer me? Nothing. I have to come on some fucking Sorry Assholes podcast just to actually promote my merch at this moment. Yeah, they say this was the most lucrative movie that we've made so far, but like, it was the end of the series and I had to wait till the end to get a check of any kind. I'm still sitting on merch from 2011. I'm sitting on fucking Scream 4 merch because I went meta. I went too meta, I guess. I was fucking perfectly meta in the first film. The second film wasn't even all that meta, but it was fantastic. The third film was nothing but Hollywood tropes, and again, I think that was fun, but weesh, baby, weesh. Alright, my point is, we're gonna start at the bottom of it. Holy shit. I tried doing it. It's so fucking hot in this bitch. Holy shit, I at least need 5 seconds to breathe.
Holy fuck. This feels like the Iron Lung movie. If y'all haven't seen that yet, that shit is a... Whew. Yeah, hot. I'm actually sweating in this bitch. Sweating in this hoe. Putting in work, baby. And in dead last, I do want to talk about this in some depth. I did put in some work for this, mind you. At dead last in the Scream franchise, we have Scream number 3. That was not fun for me. Having to commit all those murders, having it only just be me and no fucking duplicates or whatever of me, that was difficult. That was a bitch. And aside from that, I do want to say the single killer thing was a good, fun idea to end the trilogy on, but it was very poorly done, and it was based entirely around all of the Hollywood jokes and tropes. That's my issue with number 3, and some of you at home can come for me, say whatever the fuck you want. Fuck you, I made the movies. I'm Ghostface. And Roman Bridger was great. I do want to be very clear. The supernatural strength, the fucking high intellect, the overly developed storyline that actually kind of made no sense, but I guess it made sense. Because after the first 2 movies, you have a proper setup for a conclusive ending and saying, okay, this is Sydney's wrap up. And they try to do that with Scream 3, but I do want to be clear, it does fall very short. It tries too hard to be funny, and it tries too hard to be meta. The first 2 Scream movies were funny, but they took themselves a bit more seriously. The whole point of these movies was to take themselves seriously in a non-serious manner, or to take themselves not seriously in the most serious manner possible. And Scream 3 fell out of the balance. Scream 1 was a proper balance of humor and murder. It was that awkward teenage humor. It was those things that you look back on and you go, oh my God, and then you laugh about it later. Scream 2 was college kid humor. You get to laugh at the different frat sorority stuff, that whatever. But Scream 3 kind of came up as this abrupt left swing to Hollywood that threw Sydney in the middle of the fucking mountains in the middle of nowhere. She had security locked up everywhere, all around. Not security, but she had gates locked up, house locked up, everything going for her. And she still wound up coming back to the fucking focus because she couldn't stay away from Ghostface. Scream 3 falls last because truly it is the weakest of the franchise. And I don't mean that as in it's bad. I actually think it's the most fun. I think Scream 3 is probably the most fun movie to watch out of the entire bit because it does make fun of itself, but to a fault. And that is where my issue lies. The overly dramatic cop who's like, whereas Sydney's like, what's your favorite scary movie? My real life. Fuck it. What's your favorite scary movie? My real life. Fuck it. Fuck you. Fuck you, Mark Kincaid. Also, the fact that they didn't bring Mark Kincaid, spoilers, for any of you sorry cocksuckers at home who didn't see this coming, spoilers in Scream 7. Mark Kincaid is not in Scream 7, and fuck the guy who plays him too, because it turns out he just didn't even want to come back. They were offering him money, and he's just like, nah, I'm fucking good. So they recasted Mark, but they didn't recast Mark as in we're seeing the same Mark Kincaid. They recasted Mark as in we got a different Mark. And it's supposed to be she left the last guy, wound up with another guy who was a cop named Mark and whatever. It's supposed to be a subtle she moved on to another guy. Whatever. We're going to get to that here in a little bit. But Scream 3 definitely last in my fucking bin. Now, coming in second to last, and some of you fucking at home are going to cry, bitch, piss, and moan, and I know this. Scream 4. Too meta, too modern, too introductory into the new world. But, for who they cast to do it, what was her name? It's not Emma Stone. Was it Emma Stone? No, it was Anna Kendrick? No, here, hold on. I'm gonna fucking tell you guys this. My fucking tablet here isn't working, but I'm gonna pull this up because I refuse to be wrong about this. The killers in Scream 4 were good. The killers in Scream 4 specifically, I liked. One, because Charlie was the most petty little nerdy bitch on the planet. It is literally like if Randy from Scream 1 and 2, instead of being Sydney's, what does he call it, unrequited love slave, he goes out of his way to try and murder Sydney instead. That's pretty fucking fun. That's a cool twist. I'd let the nerd get the girl in the end. How about I let the nerd be the serial killer in the end of that one? That was fun. Seeing him die, little fucked with me. But it was good. It was good. It was Emma Roberts, not Emma Stone. Emma Roberts, who played Jill Roberts. Emma Roberts played Jill Roberts. Hey, yeah, but we're just gonna change the birth name to Dill and fuck it. Scream 4 was good. It was a good Nev Campbell experience. It was a great example of how you can keep a franchise modern without it being cliche. And it was a good example of how you can make fun of the modern era and our styles and the differences in styles of film and even the differences in styles of slashers. Because Scream 4 was all about how slashers of the old days are not exciting anymore. You need new style slash, you need vamp, you need recordings, you need AI, you need fucking Airbnbs, you need everything under the sun. You need to be podcasting, you need to be streaming. What are those things is it streaming that gamers do? Those fucking weirdos that got the pull down mics and all that shit. Yeah, they're streaming. That's what it requires now, is streaming. Not a fan of that. Scream 4 was good, though. The murders were good. They weren't over the top. The last part where Jill was literally going fucking crazy and injuring herself, you think to yourself, wow, if only Billy and Stu had done that, Scream 1 would have been completely different ending. There would have been no other Screams if Billy and Stu had done what Jill did. And I mean that so thoroughly. There might have been another Scream fucking 2, but it would have been literally just the trial of Billy and Stu. What else are they going to do? Sure, what else would they do at that point? Scream 4. None of these are bad, by the way. This is my favorite fucking... I put in work for this franchise, as you can tell. My favorite. But if we're going in order, we're definitely putting Scream 3 at last. We're putting Scream 4 at second to last. And Scream... Alright, I didn't mean to get to this so quick. But Scream 7 has to go at my number 5. I wanted it to be so much better. I wanted it to be everything that a franchise could be to conclude, and to a degree it was, but the ending fell so short that I'm surprised I'm not putting it last, and I mean that. The murders were good. The action was good. Excuse me. The storyline made sense to a degree. Neve Campbell killed it. Courtney Cox needs to stop acting. For the love of God, that woman needs to stop acting. She needs to stop setting herself in front of a camera, because that was the worst Gale Weathers performance I've ever seen. And I don't just mean like, oh, she just showed up and blah, blah. No, it was bad. Like, Gale Weathers was actually bad. She's just like, yep, I'm Gale Weathers. Guess what? I'm Gale Weathers. Guess what? I'm Gale Weathers. And it's like, yeah, she did that throughout Scream 1 through 4, but you're missing. One thing that I do want to say is missing is it's not got the same attitude. It's kind of like when they take an old character and just throw them on set and they're like, thank you, yeah, we got an old character back. Woo! Thank goodness. And she gets her interview with Sydney, and that's great and that's fun. But Courtney Cox delivers arguably the most boring performance in the entire film. She truly was she looked exhausted. And I mean this kindly. Courtney Cox looked exhausted in Scream 7. Sydney, Neve Campbell actually looked fucking revived. She looked like she did in Scream 4, because Scream 5, she had no life. Scream 5, Neve Campbell. Funny enough, Courtney Cox had so much life in Scream 5 and 6, but Neve Campbell had nothing in 5. But it's because they didn't use Neve Campbell properly in Scream 5. They did, but they used her as more of like, all right, let's kill this sorry cocksucker. Let's kill this sorry motherfucker. Let's just, you guys know, what do you call him? Hunky Cavill, how he does that shit where he's just like, that forearm reload or whatever it is. That was Neve Campbell in Scream 5. We're not there yet. Scream 7, the reason it falls so short of the glory of God is because of the fact that it's kind of like It Too. They took 98% of a film that was fantastic, and I mean truly fantastic. The acting was good, the casting was good. You can ignore Courtney Cox because guess what? It's fucking Courtney Cox, and she's playing goddamn fucking Gale Weathers. And you also get Matthew Lillard, you get Skeet Ulrich, you get, what's her name, who plays Sheldon's mother, but she's also the mother of Billy Loomis in Scream 2. Fantastic introduction, by the way. Fantastic throwback. You get Roman Bridger, who plays him? Scott Foley. You get him back. You get David Arquette to play Dewey in a small dose. Although, one thing I do want to say, and I'm going to call attention to my camera person, and I want you to note this too. It is kind of funny that they didn't bring back Randy Meeks at all. You notice they didn't bring back Randy at all? He was fucking killed off in Scream 2, and Randy's just like this fucking distant memory of, it's fairy dust. He became fairy dust. Randy Meeks is no longer existent, and that is another thing I want to say that fell short of the glory of God in Scream 7. Scream 7 starts off with this lovely young couple who's played by, here, and I do want to talk on this because I thought this was perfect casting, and I know I'm using my phone a bit and I shouldn't be, but this is what I have right now because my tablet's being fucky. Jimmy Tatro, I've seen him in another thing. It was in 22 Jump Street where he played that guy Rooster. Fucking kills it in Scream 7. I was so impressed with the beginning of Scream 7. I'm not going to lie to you. I completely forgot about the rest of the franchise for a moment. And I mean that so literally. The introductory was so flawless and so perfect. They have this couple show up to an Airbnb. They walk around the place for a little bit. The boyfriend scares the girlfriend and it's like, oh. But they have an automated Ghostface there at first. And all of a sudden the Ghostface is moving like a human. And the guy's like, wait a minute, I didn't do that. And so he goes to take the mask off, and it's the fucking killer. One of the killers, anyways. And they die right there. The killer burns the Stu Mocker. They burn the Mocker house down. Fantastic. I mean, arguably the best intro in the entire series. I'm not even going to lie. That's including Scream 1 and 6, which are my two favorites. Scream 1 has the most classic, beautiful slasher intro ever. I can't even think of another slasher film that has a more iconic intro than the beginning of Scream 1. Truly, that dial in where you hear the that shit. Everyone uses the word iconic. That's it. But the intro to Scream 7, was legendary. When you see Ghostface, I'm getting goosebumps right now. When you see Ghostface walking out of that Airbnb mocker house, the Ghostface experience, the Scream experience, stab experience, and you see that house on fire, you forget the commercials. You forget what you were hoping for. All of it. Then it gives you her daughter, her boyfriend, her daughter's boyfriend sneaking in. It kind of gives you Scream 1 chop for chop until the murders come in. Then all of a sudden, Sydney's running across town. Her daughter's hiding out with her best friends in a bar for some reason because, oh yeah, they snuck out late at night. They were supposed to be on whole town curfew at like 7 p.m. and they snuck out at night to hide at the bar because they thought that was going to somehow be better. Little do they know, Sydney's daughter's friends all get murdered. All of them. Every last one of them. Whacked. Creepy guy, nerdy black chick, fucking other nerdy Scream black chick from Scream 5 and 6, and then nerdy black boy from Scream 5 and 6. They get stabbed. They don't die, but they get stabbed. And that sucks. You feel bad for them. Not really. You really don't feel bad for anybody. What was his name? Was it Chad and Mindy? Chad and Mindy. Wow, how did I forget Mindy? Whatever. My point is, they use Scream 7 to be the ultimate meta. That is the issue, is that it takes Scream 4 and 3 and combines the ending into one thing. It is. Because the entire time they tease that Stu Macher's there, they use AI to clone him up, they use AI to bring in all these other Ghostface and say, hey, Sydney, don't you remember killing me? And da-da-da-da-da. And at the end of the film, they released that it's the fucking neighbor. It's this neighbor bitch who has zero issue with Sydney other than the fact that she didn't die. And I mean that so literally. The only issue this woman has with Sydney is that she's still alive after all the other Ghostface haven't killed her yet. There's literally no reasoning and no resonance with it. And I think that is the weakest part. And they also include some psych ward nurse dude who is this random fucking whatever. I want to say that's actually one of the better parts. And everyone disagrees with me on this. I think Scream 7, for what we were given from 4 and on, was a perfect conclusion, other than the lack of reasoning. If they had come up with any better reason, it was Stu Macher's ex-girlfriend, it was Stu Macher's ex-lover, it was Billy Loomis's ex-girlfriend, it was Dewey's unrequited whatever, it was whomever. It doesn't even have to be someone's lover. It was a woman who was in love with Sydney and couldn't stand the fact that she would never pay attention to her or anything like that. It could have been anything other than, I just don't like you. I just don't like the way you look. I don't like that you've lived this long. It's kind of ridiculous after that. And she's sitting there by her pool giving this fucking lame monologue. And I mean that, lame monologue. It's not... You want Scream 7 to be better, and I want Scream 7 to be better, and I wanted the reasoning to be better, but they did the same thing to Scream 7 that they did to It Chapter 2. They give you 98% of a film that's fantastic, by the way. Horrifying, realistic, sticks to the original, doesn't go out of its way to be overtly self-aware or self-destructive, but that last 2%, they have no ability to come up with a reason for why people would want to kill each other other than, you just were happening to be there and I just wanted to kill you. Yeah. Is that what Hollywood is? Is that what people do in Hollywood? They're just like, I saw you there, I killed you. I didn't like you, I killed you. If that's Hollywood, then fucking Jesus Christ, y'all are screwed. Scream 7, though. The ending, lackluster. I want to rate it higher. I would have rated actually Scream 7 probably in my top 3. And I did at first, until I came to realize that the reasoning behind the entire film was lackluster. Nev Campbell, Matthew Lillard. I've actually met most of these actors in person. They seem like nice people. And if I ever meet them again, I do want to say, any of you could have done anything to try and suggest an option or opportunity for how this film could have turned out, and it doesn't sound like anybody did anything but say yes to the checks and keep going. Scream 7 is a good conclusion for what we were given, but it is the most lackadaisical ending that I think that they could have done. Scream 7 is number 5. I'm okay with that one. Scream 5 is number 4 though. And that's because that was a perfect homage. You start off with the killing scene, you go to the next bit, you go to the high school, you introduce all the teenagers, you introduce some teenage drama, you introduce the new girl who's over here, and and it's Melissa Barrera, who, while only portraying several emotions, did phenomenal. And Jenna Ortega, before she got the face surgery, looked gorgeous, and she was killing it as a mini Scream princess. She is a Scream princess. If she can find a franchise that she can head at some point, she's working her way to be a Scream Duchess and then a Scream Queen. But Scream 5, because it's purely an homage, cannot go any higher. It can't. It was literally for Wes Craven, because this was the first film that they did without Wes Craven alive. This was the first film that was made since he was dead. And most franchises go off the board when the original creator and director and everything are not a part of it. Scream 5 did good, though. Richie Kirsch was fantastic. That was played by, give me one moment. That was played by Jack Quaid. That was played by Jack Quaid, and it was Mickey Madison who was also the killer. They both did fantastic. They did the over-the-top part. They did the craziness right. They did the hiding until they were needed to be in plain sight. Scream 5 is fantastic for the idea alone that it was purely homage. And when you make an homage, it's either going to be perfect or it's going to be shit. There's not really much you can do in between for an homage. And I mean that so sincerely. Because you're literally recreating the first thing that there was and just dedicating it as that to the original piece. Can never come close to the original piece. I liked Scream 5 when it first came out. And I love it. Actually, still, that's why it's number 4 clearly on this list. But it can't go any higher. It can't go any higher. It had great deaths, and they dedicated one of the characters to Wes Craven. He was Wes, and they killed him in an epic fashion. They killed off Sheriff Judy. But that's how your films should be. If you're doing an homage, it needs to be not a perfect recreation, but it needs to be as lively and as tempting as the first one. That's what puts Scream 5 at 4. And now we get to the top 3, and these are the big dogs of the entire franchise, and everyone else can suck my dick and argue left, right, and center about this, but this is truth. Scream number 2 is number 3. That was a perfect sequel. That was a perfect sequel to part 1. You had Billy Loomis's mother introduced. You had Timothy Olyphant as this random psychotic fucking killer on the background who's just like, but did you do that? But did you do this? But did you trust this person? But do you trust this person? Why do you trust this person? Who is this person? Who is this person? Phenomenal. Very few times in film ever is there a sequel that's actually good enough to keep up with the original. And Scream 2 keeps up with the original. Without a doubt. The intro to college life, the fucking Jada Pinkett murder at the beginning of Scream 2, amazing. Do you know how happy it made me to watch Jada Pinkett Smith die in such a dramatic fashion? I wish she would have died quicker, but for the love of God, it was so nice to watch it happen. Will, if you ever hate your wife, go watch Scream 2. Mr. Will Smith, if you hate Jada ever, I just want you to go into your living room, put on Scream 2, and play that shit for her so that way when she walks in, all she hears is, ah! and then just drops. The worst. I mean this to you in the nicest way. I know I said Courtney Cox was the worst in Scream 7, and she was in Scream 7, but Jada Pinkett Smith is the worst in everything she ever touches. She is just truly the worst. And seeing her die was not long enough, and it was not quick enough. And I mean that so sincerely. Because it's about some white-ass kids getting their white asses stabbed in the back. All I gotta say is this is a black body and a white face, Ms. Pinkett Smith. So, is it white people doing murders, or is it a black person doing whiteface committing murders in the honor of white people and black people and racism and da 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 da? Come on, Miss Pinkett. Come on, Miss Pinkett. What you got for me, baby? What's up? All I gotta say is if you ever hated your wife and you wanted to watch her die, Will is the person with the best ability to go home happy to his wife after watching her die on screen. He can go to the theater, pay for it fully just for him, watch the beginning of Scream 2, walk out of the theater, and then walk home to see his cunt wife sitting there and go, you know, baby, I saw you die a few minutes ago and it made me realize I love you and I do wish you were dead. And then he can go about his business. He's one of few husbands in this United States who can watch his wife die and then go and see her later and say, I love you. That's love. That's love. Scream 2, though, it truly was beautiful. The ending was great. With Billy Loomis's mother coming out. What's her name? With Billy Loomis's mother and Timothy Olyphant at the end. Timothy Olyphant's reasoning was retarded. I'm going to blame it on the movies, but that's the whole point of a serial killer. He was a legitimate, psychopathic, registered serial killer in the United States. What is it? Laurie Metcalf. She plays Sheldon's mother and she plays Billy Loomis's mother. She's great at playing a psychotic mother. Scream 2 comes in as number 3 because perfect sequel, but it is not Scream 6. Scream 6 is my number 2. That movie, wow. It wasn't an homage. It was a original step away from the first fucking even 4 movies and just making its own way. Melissa Barrera, Jenna Ortega, fucking... Here, hold on. The guy who plays Chad, the lady who plays Mindy, the fucking lady who plays Kirby. She kills this shit. I do want to be very clear. Scream 6 truly is... It can't top the first one because without Scream 1, there is no anything else. But Scream 6... Wow, the missing daughter of Billy Loomis goes to New York and has a fucking run-in with her own Ghostface? Then it's not just one, it's 3 Ghostface. You get 3 Ghostface in fucking Scream 6. And one of them is played by Jack Champion, who is also the little monkey boy Spider in Pandora. That's not Pandora. It's Avatar. Fucking Jack Champion, the little monkey boy from Avatar, is also in Scream 6, and he fucking kills it. All of them kill it in Scream 6. Literally, they kill it in Scream 6. The hidden body, the cop being one of the fucking things. This was the first and only time in the entire series that they made you understand that even a cop could be the fucking killer. You know, I've learned some things when I was looking back over this franchise. Billy and Stu are the only all-male cast of killers outside of Roman Bridger, but he was a solo actor. So Billy and Stu are the only pair of males that are the killers in the entire series. And Scream 6 includes the only cop killer, and it includes the only sibling killers in the entire franchise. That is a badass thing. And it includes what I got this mask from, my mask. This is fucking the aged Billy Loomis mask. This is the mask that I murdered and killed Sydney's mother and raped her in. God damn it. It included everything! Everything! They did. Scream 6 was phenomenal. It was more than an homage. They took all of the Scream tropes and made an original sidestep away from Sydney, away from fucking all of these people. I mean, Dewey died in Scream 5 and we were doing just fine with that. They gave us a new Dewey with fucking Chad. That nigga was stabbed 1,000,000 times at the end of Scream 6 and he still somehow survived. We got a new Dewey even in Scream 6. It was so perfect. Melissa Barrera was a great main character. Jenna Ortega was a great main character. All of these were great supporting characters. Courtney Cox came back in for fucking 10 minutes just so she could get stabbed and jumped. Do you know how amazing she did in that movie? Scream 6, when I tell you, is arguably Courtney Cox's best in the entire series, I mean that. When she's standing behind the door and Ghostface is railing into her for letting Dewey die and all these other different things. Scream 6 is great. Scream 6 is phenomenal. It starts off with a fucking Ghostface killer. What is it? Hold on. Tony Revolori, the one who I did the fucking unveiling for in the beginning of this. My little homage for him at the beginning of this. Kills it. Starts off by killing a fucking school teacher and kills it. His original plan was to go in with his buddy and kill off the fucking sisters Melissa Barrera and Ortega were playing. It was great. Truly, Scream 6. The falling down the fucking, the falling off the fucking ladder, the hiding the body and the woman pretending she's dead just so she can go and commit murders in the name of her brother. Wow. And at the end, she gets her fucking teeth whacked the shit out of her face and she dies. They all die. I mean, Jack, what's his name? Not Jack Quaid. Jack Champion. They got two Jacks in this. Jack. Jack Champion got fucking stabbed in the fucking throat. Said fucking, what was that scene? Jenna Ortega's like, just let me go. Just let me go. Okay. So she lets her go and then she fucking falls down in his mouth and stabs him right through the head. Beautiful. And at the end of the film, they're walking out. The theater is not on fire, but it's on fire. Some of the stuff is burning. The memorabilia is there. And as she's walking out with her sister, she just looks at the Billy Loomis mask and drops it on the ground. That would have been the perfect ending to Scream, by the way. Scream 6, if they would have ended it with that, would have been perfect. It's just as high rated as Scream 1, by the way. I do want to be clear. Scream 6 has just as high of a rating as Scream 1. That would have been the perfect ending, 1-to-1, bing, 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 right there. Scream 7, I guess, was a good ending. It was great to see Matthew Lillard in it. Also, Matthew Lillard, dude. Just, I'm sorry. I think sometimes we give celebrities too much voice, and Spookula and all these things is fun, but for the love of God, the husbands of horror and all this other shit, dude, can you get back into acting and stop letting fucking fans pay you just to be out and about? Please? And all you people at Spookula, you do know you're paying these guys not to act, but to sit there and answer the same questions again and again, right? I know I'm guilty. I've paid you guys to sign my Scream poster, and I'm going to pay you guys again to sign that shit because I need the other signatures. Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox. I got David Arquette, I got Skeet Ulrich, and I got Matthew Lillard. There's someone else I'm thinking of. Whatever, Jack Quaid, I got Mickey Madison to sign it. The point is, I need you fucking faggots to sign it. Not that you're faggots, or that you're fucking, or that you're fucking faggots, or that you're bad people, or that you're anything. Just, I need the shit signed. But guys, come on. We need more movies. They need to stop worrying about signing people's shit at Spookula and worry about making good fucking scripts. I'm just saying, if they would have taken a year off of that fucking convention and focused entirely on this, we might have actually gotten more than just FaceTimes from Matthew Lillard in the fucking Scream 7. We might have. And now, for number one, of course, it's the first Scream. How could it be anything but? The intro with Drew Barrymore when I killed her. She died so perfectly. The next scene where Billy fucking hops into Sydney's window. Stu at the fucking beginning of the high school. Randy going and be like, "Oh, it's Billy. It's gotta be Billy. I'm just a fucking nerd. I don't know, but I love Sydney, and it's gotta be Billy. It's gotta be Billy. It's gotta be Billy." This dude's just like, "Are you sure that's Billy? You sure?" "Yeah, I'm sure it's fucking Billy. It's gotta be Billy. Do you see that? He's over there in the horror section, and he's the only one who's being charged with the fucking..." Scream 1 is the greatest slasher film ever, and yes, you can argue otherwise. I won't. Whatever. It is the perfect meta jokes. It makes fun of It makes fun of slashers as a whole. It is the perfect embodiment of horror and comedy. I was watching this fucking movie alone last night in the middle of an empty house, and I sat in an area where there were no windows just so I could ensure that I felt a little bit safer while I was watching Scream 1 at home alone. Even me, Ghostface, I started the movie and I didn't like seeing myself do this stuff. Are you kidding me? This is crazy. That's crazy. Scream 1 truly was fantastic. Skeet Ulrich, what's his name? Matthew Lillard, Nev Campbell, David Arquette, Courtney Cox. Trying to remember her name. She played Tatum. Her name was... Most of this right now of what I'm doing is pulling up the cast. So I've watched these movies so many times. I could tell you every scene from first to last and probably even most of their lines. But I do need to look up the cast. Rose McGowan fucking kills it. They even got the Fonz in fucking part 1. They got the in fucking part 1. They got the Fonz. They got Fonzie. They got fucking... Oh my God, what's his name? What the fuck? Why is it not showing it to me? It's got Liev Schreiber in part 1 and 2. And he does great. Also, Liev Schreiber is great in Scream 2. He was one of those antagonists that made Scream 2 top 3 because the entire time you're thinking like, wow, he wasn't the murderer in part 1, but he very fucking well could be in part 2. Liev Schreiber dies beginning of Scream 3, featured in Scream 1. Great addition, great side character. Who I'm talking about though is Henry Winkler. They got the Fonz, Henry Winkler, and that fucking, and Fonzie's real cool, right? Fonzie's real cool, in the great words of Samuel L. Jackson. What's Fonzie like? He's cool. Yeah, Fonzie's real cool. Fuck, what is that from? What am I quoting there? What's Fonzie like? He's cool. I can't even remember. It's a Samuel L. Jackson line. Somebody comment that shit if you ever figure it out. But Scream 1, truly, 1996 is the best of the entire franchise. And it's just because without question, it revived the slasher genre. Not only revived the slasher genre, but because of Scream, it has made the slasher genre survive until now in 2026. 30 years later, we get the ending of Scream 1. 30 years later, we get the final conclusion. And I gotta say, it was okay. A little lackluster, but it was good enough. And I'll take it. If they redid it, I'd be okay with it. It's kind of like that ugly Sonic. If they gave us a new Scream 7, just like they gave us a new Sonic, I could forgive it. I'm a killer after all. I'm not heartless. Not completely heartless anyway. I'm not like Billy and Hilly. I'm not like all these other fucking psychopaths. I'm a franchise man. You know how I even got started into this franchise? It was college years. Do you know what it's like when you look the way I do? And you have a ghost face and people are they're just paying you to stand on the other side of a glory hole? Like they're so scared of your face, they only want to look at your penis. Do you know what it's like to only be cherished for your cock? Do you know what it's like to only be cherished for your balls? Have you watched Boogie Nights? It's my big dick and I'll do what I want with it. We're going to get on that movie at some point. Fucking amazing movie. Do you know what it's like to just be wanted for your knife? No, you don't. Eventually, it started off with my cock. But at some point, I got tired of them. I got sick and tired of these people. So I stuck my blade through the glory hole. And the bitch didn't look twice and went, and then fucking deep-throated a knife. That's how I got started in this. Never mind the younger years when I was going out of my way to stab other kids in the daycare. Never mind the years in high school when I was going out of my way to hide underneath the school bus so I could stab people. Never mind any of that. Never mind the trips where I would hide in the baggage, in the party buses, so I could go and slash the football players. Never mind the cheerleaders I stalked. Never mind any of it. It all truly started when I glory holed with my knife. And Wes Craven, he was there watching. He was on the other side of the glory hole and watched my knife go through the woman. And he's like, that's a fucking great idea for a movie. And so I came out, and Wes and we just struck up a conversation. Rest in peace, Wes. Rest in peace, Wes. I hope you're doing well, buddy. I do want to say that it is very sad that the creator of all of it he gave us 4 movies and they were great. It is sad we didn't get to see the rest of the franchise with him, but I do want to say, as somebody who's been able to bear witness to all of this greatness, I am very appreciative of it. And I'm very appreciative that I got to be a part of it. And I guess really the only thing that I have to say about any of this is keep killing it, guys. Keep going out of your way to make the world a deadlier place, one knife at a time. Keep going out of your way to try and keep murder alive. Try and keep the slashing alive. Try. Just remember, just like Hillary and Bill, you're never out till you're out. You're never out till you have to be, baby. You never are. You're always in it to win it. And so, in honor of my franchise coming to an end, in honor of Billy, Hilly, BB, and everything we've got going on, and in honor of the killers, I just got one thing to say. What's your favorite scary movie?